we keep on hearing from many places that Indian calendar is the best, is the most accurate calendar in the world, and so on and so forth. Yes, it is, but we also need to know why of it. Why is it accurate? What is speciality of it? And how it can be utilized. That is what we will see in today's episode. What is a calendar? Calendar is a way of counting or measuring time. The smallest unit of time in general is the day, then the month, and then the year. So all civilizations in the world are concerned with measurement of time for one reason or the other. The king is concerned about his revenue, the farmer is concerned about his agrarian operations, the hunter is concerned about the seasons, and the fisherman is concerned about availability of fish and also the availability or incident of rains. And these things they have observed that they happen at regular intervals to a great extent. If we know what these intervals are, how these things happen, that goes a long way in making our life better and easier. So from time immemorial, various civilizations have devised various ways of measuring time. The smallest unit being the day, and the largest unit of repetitive time being the year. A day is of 24 hours. It is based on the sun. A month is based on moon, because we can see the moon becoming bigger and becoming smaller, and it happens approximately in about 30 days. So moon is another measurement of time. The next measurement of time is the seasons. We know there are 3 seasons, and these 3 seasons come one after the other. So when all seasons are over, it is 1 year. Also further we can see that the sun moves in the sky. So if we decide one particular point on the earth and measure the days that the sun comes again to that point or crosses that point, then we realize that it is about 6 months time. So when the sun crosses it again, that makes it 1 year. Now here we have got 4 different measurements of time. That is, we have got 4 different scales of time. Interestingly, various civilizations used different scales, and each of them used only one scale. Like the primitive man, for him day and night was enough of time measurement. He was not bothered about months, he was not bothered about year. Get up in the morning and go hunting or go collecting fruits and so on. Come back at night or before nightfall and remain secure in whatever cave he had or whatever small place, secure place he had. So that was the measurement of time by day. The second measurement was the moon. Moon in first 15 days or so goes becoming bigger, becomes full, then it becomes smaller and there is a no moon day. About 27 days, 30 days to a month. So some civilizations started using the moon as the scale. Islamic calendar, for that matter, is of 354 days. It is totally based on the movement of the moon. Then came the sun. some civilizations realized that the sun is a good measurement parameter, so they fixed a point on earth, and whenever the sun would cross it, they would start counting their year, and when it crosses again, that is the time when the year is complete, and that was the sun based year. Now see, all these four scales are incomplete to some extent or inaccurate to some extent. None of them is perfectly accurate. The reason being, the motions of earth are not exactly synchronized with these cycles. So each of these scales would vie with each other for domination of the calendar. When you are using the moon calendar, every year the travel of moon and the travel of sun would differ by about 10 days. So your seasons would fall anywhere, because every year you are losing 10 days, and that is why it was inaccurate scale. If you were to take only the sun for the measurement, still they realized after a few years there would be a gap of days which could not be explained. So these were the calendars which were dependent on day and moon or day and sun. The Islamic calendar depends on day and moon. The Christian calendar depends on day and sun. But in India, they had a much more advanced idea about how to use the calendar. And this idea is that of differential scales. See, if you use this scale, you can only measure up to 0.1 millimeter. Up to 1 millimeter, sorry. If you use this scale also, you can measure up to 1 millimeter. But if you use this scale along with this scale together, then we are able to measure up to 0.1 millimeter. That is, we are able to measure 1/10 of the distance that each of these two scales is capable of measuring. This is called as differential measurement, and this is seen in engineering tools like vernier caliper or micrometer. Now this idea our Indian Pandits applied to the measurement of time. So what they did was, they measured the time by the sun, they measured the time by the moon, and once in a while when these two scales would go out of synchronicity, they put it all together using the difference between the two. That is why we have that Adhik Mas once in a while to match the moon scale with the sun scale, and this is called as differential measurement of time. What happens because of this? Because of this, Indian measurement of time becomes extremely accurate. Does not matter how many thousands of years you go into the future or how many thousands of years you go into the past, you can have exact date or exact time of any incident that has been described. In fact, using this calendar or using the strength of this Indian calendar, researchers like P.V. Vartak or more recently Nilesh Nilkantha Oak have gone back in time using software to decide the exact time of happening of Ramayana and Mahabharata. So that is the most important and that is the most accurate part of Indian calendar, the differential measurement of time. And in an agrarian economy like in India, there are 3 seasons: the rainy season, the hot season, and the winter. What is most important? is the prediction of monsoon. And this prediction of monsoon is most accurate if you are using the Indian Panchang or Indian calendar for timekeeping. These are the reasons why Indian Panchang is the best of them all. If you have any queries on this topic, if you want to know anything more on this topic, anything more technical or detail, please let us know. We will address those questions through our forthcoming episodes. Namaskar.